A new poll shows most New Yorkers want ride-sharing here in upstate New York, but the state budget is due by the end of the week, and News 10 NBC has learned hailing an Uber or Lyft is not a priority for lawmakers who have a say in this matter. In tonight's New York City Exposed report, investigative reporter Jennifer Lukey explains why.
The governor and the Senate are on board. They included upstate ride-sharing in their versions of this year's budget, but the Assembly did not. And without them, it's very possible this issue could be dead on arrival yet again.
Upstate New York is one of the only areas in the entire country where you can't yet hail an Uber or Lyft. There was a push for approval last legislative session, but it didn't happen.
It came relatively late in session last year, and there ended up being a dispute between people about those insurance issues. But I don't think any of those can't be resolved.
That's what Assembly Majority Leader Joe Morelle told us months ago. But those issues apparently still haven't been resolved because the Assembly did not include it in its list of priorities this year either.
Not having it in their proposal was unfortunate, but I think it's something that those upstate Assembly members really do want to make happen.
We didn't exactly get that sentiment from Assemblyman Kevin Cahill, who actually sponsors the ride-sharing bill in the Assembly.
I think the people of upstate New York and the rest of New York are more concerned with so many other far more important things, such as the financing of education and property tax relief, protecting the environment, making sure our state is safe. Another way to hail a cab is not uppermost on most people's agenda.
But a new Siena study shows upstaters overwhelmingly support ride-sharing and want it passed.
We've had years of debate on this, and you know, it's time to get into a room, hammer out the details, and the budget is an opportune time to do that in New York.
I think we'd all like to put this matter to rest just because the industry has been lobbying so heavily. It's been diverting attention from other issues in some instances. But I don't think that there's a clamoring out there for this to take priority over those other very, very important matters.
Now keep in mind, there's a lot of wheeling and dealing in Albany this week, and it's very possible ride-sharing could become a negotiating tool for one house or another. But if it's not agreed upon as part of the budget deal, it doesn't necessarily mean it's totally dead. The Senate and the Assembly could reconcile their bills and pass it after the budget season. But of course, it's wait and see. Jennifer Lukey, News 10 NBC.
And as we mentioned, the poll shows overwhelming support for Uber and Lyft to expand. According to the Siena College Research Institute, 76% of New Yorkers support allowing ride-sharing to operate across the state as it now does in New York City. 16% oppose and 8% are not sure.